Okay, it says I'm live. Well, I've got the chat over here. Let me make sure I got everything rocking and rolling like I want to. Let me move this boom mic out of the way. Oh, man. That's a little bit in the picture, isn't it? Let me move it out of the picture. And hopefully that'll help out a little bit. Let me move this a little bit. See if we can get some people in here and see what's going on. See what's going on this Sunday morning. And as they will notice, I'm up here in my studio. I'm up here in my studio as opposed to at the house and the home office. Of course, the studio is messy and everything behind me, but it is what it is. Hopefully the picture's coming through loud and clear. Hey, Joy. Hey, Joy, how are you? Yeah, top of the morning to you too. Yeah, keep getting those fingers straight there, Joey. Well, I'm up here at my studio. This is my studio for where I do my radio broadcast and everything. This is the converted. It used to be a utility, a trailer for my shop and everything. As you see, all these cabinets and everything above and everything. But if I spun the camera around, you'd see all my radio equipment up here. I have the radio equipment up here. So that's where I'm at. And of course, unfortunately, I got a bunch of junk behind me. Like so many people, I get stuff cluttered up, and that's what everything's cluttered behind me. Of course, it's kind of cluttered in front of me too. I have a lot of things up here. I have a lot of things going on. Of course, I got my Sprite here. Is the picture good and clear and the sound good? That's what I'm shooting for. I'm trying to make sure I got a good picture and good stable and everything. Hey, Info Warrior. Yeah. Time change, whips people a little bit when people aren't used to that. So yeah, you'll get. Dina's doing fine. Joy. She's still enjoying her baseball and everything. And it'll be getting back into her season before long. She loves baseball, so it'll be time for that. Yeah, I guess so. I'm up here just taking it easy up here in the studio up here, and hopefully, like I said, the signal's coming through loud and clear. I mean, I got a good signal up here with my computers and everything. So usually everything comes through loud and clear up here. I don't have a problem or an issue. But this is where I do my radio broadcast. And if I was to spin it around, let me see if I can grab the camera. I'll grab the camera here and spin it around, and you can see what I'm talking about. I mean, this thing doesn't want to. This camera is that Insta360. It doesn't want to turn things around unless I turn around. Let me spin around too, and you can see what I'm doing here. I've got this camera's real great camera for tracking, but it will track. It's that Insta360 camcorder or webcam. It does a great job of tracking and everything. No, I had my radio intro sort of wore down for today. I just do, you know, I don't, you know, I do. If my voice was clear, that's why I got to have some Sprite in me. My radio voice is not radio voice this morning. It's more a cranky voice this morning, but it is what it is on that. But I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab me a snack at the same time. Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm supposed to entertain, but I'm not a paid entertainer. So I'll entertain you. I'm gonna eat some peanuts here. I'll be like an elephant eating some peanuts. So if that's take my break while I'm up here. I probably need better lighting up here. I got some LED lighting, but I probably to do a regular broadcast, I probably need some. Hey, Jamie. Yeah, I need to grease back my hair. I'd be like Gavin Newsom then, wouldn't I? If I'd grease back a little bit. Yeah, I'll grease back the old hair, and then I could be like Gavin Newsom. I could make up my own bust, couldn't I? You know, that's what you do when you get famous. You build your own bust, and you put it in the state house or whatever. Isn't that vanity there? I'll tell you, what did he spend? I think he had to buy the bust, and they put it in the courthouse or whatever in San Francisco. But I don't think I'm going to be making a bronze bust of myself. Not anytime soon, anyway. Now is the volume good up here and everything? I'm trying. You know, I know that I got the camera situated pretty good. I was hoping the is audio coming through good too. You know, it's hard for me to tell up here. I can't. All I can do is like y'all. I mean, I can see it after the fact with the video after I've done it, but I can see the video, you know, as I'm going out, but I can't tell. Audio's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, yeah. The Democrats want it made out of gold, don't they? They're taking our gold. That's what they're doing. What do you think about Holcomb and all her escapades and everything, Joy, up there in the communist state of New York? What Phil Mickelson have? D-Money. I didn't see it, so I don't know. I didn't check X. I don't go on X very often. If I see a link that I want to go to, I'll go to it. But I usually don't go to it per se. I don't get a lot of my information from X. You know. Oh, hey, Patrick. See Patrick in there. It was a post about border security being good or what? I mean, the border, Trump jumped in there and fixed the border within days. I mean, I was I was blown away at how fast he got that solved. I mean, I think that's fantastic. Yeah, Cuomo is going to try to. He's going to try to get back up there and get a hold of New York City, isn't he? Or you never can tell. AOC may run for mayor or senator. I think she's wanting to take Chuck Schumer's place. You never know. Well, I'm getting all kind of. Yeah. She's probably wanting to take Chuck Schumer's place and you know fight that way. I mean, she's an idiot. I mean, of course, she's the one that tells you that Elon Musk is not that smart of a guy. And that's coming from a person that was a waitress. You know, let's see, what do I have? A waitress or a rocket scientist? Who do I want in control? I think I'll take that rocket scientist all day long. Yeah, yeah, there's just, it's crazy. Well, in a way, I tell you what, I'm glad we didn't get Lee Zeldin as governor for the United States' sake, because he's going to do a great job at EPA. I mean, he's dismantling some of the regulations at EPA. I never thought they'd get done that quick. So, uh, you know, Lee's doing a great job. And I'm getting wind advisories and everything. We're getting all these strong winds coming in up through here. We're getting the second wave of that storm. It's been they've had a bunch of tornadoes and everything around. We haven't been hit, knock on wood, so far. We're supposed to get some more rain and bad weather and a little bit, but it hadn't been as violent as some places. It's windy in Tampa. Okay. Yeah. How's the weather down there, James? Yeah, we're not that bad. We got some wind. I think it's about. I think the weather forecast a while ago, I checked weather.com and it was saying we got like 13-mile-an-hour winds, which is not too bad. That's like Oklahoma on a normal day, I guess. Uh, Oklahoma being the windiest. Oops, let me resituate myself here. Yeah, yeah, we're a little windier. We're a little bit windier than normal right now, ourselves. So it's not a bad storm. From what they were predicting, they back out in the Midwest and everything, and the other southern states. I think Bama and Mississippi and Louisiana and some of those got some bad weather, but we so far, knock on wood, we haven't gotten that. I think it's sort of weakened down a little bit by the time it got to the Carolinas. Well, I think the EPA is they're doing a great job of changing a lot of things. Lee Zeldin is it Zeldin, I believe that's right. Anyway, Lee in charge of the EPA, he he's cutting back on a lot of this regulation and everything, and I'm real tickled for everybody that's if you've had to live through some of these regulations like I've had to, like in the trucking industry, all this DEF stuff. I wish they had cut back on that and and let the horsepower at least go up on some of these without having to have DPF. I mean that stuff. Having to add that, I mean, I have to add it on my car. I've got it on my pickup truck, my 150 that's a diesel, and I've got it on my BMWs. And I had to buy an expensive pump, DEF pump, to go on my BMW that I don't have but 40,000 miles. And the pump went bad and it was out of warranty because the car is more than 4 years old now. But I mean, it's ridiculous how much that pump cost. And they said it could shut down my car at any point if I didn't replace it. And so I had to replace it, and it cost me $3,600. And it was going to cost me about $5,500, but I negotiated with them. I said, that's ridiculous. I said, I'll delete it before I go into that. And they came back and they said, well, we'll do it for 36. So, still that's way expensive, way expensive. Anytime you go get anything from a BMW dealership, you're going to pay through the nose. I can tell you that. I mean, I like my car, but when repairs come through, it's like, oh my gosh, I almost feel like taking out a warranty for the warranty since it's out of warranty now. But I don't know if those warranty things are any good. You see them advertised all the time on the TV. I thought about checking into them, but it being a BMW, as soon as they hear the word BMW, they'll probably double the rate on me too. That's like having a California wildfire. They know that it's going to be expensive if anything happens out there. And I'm curious, let's see, what was it? The EPA changed some stuff out. Speaking of that, they changed some things out in California so people can start cleaning up, because California was going to take like a year and a half to do some of these cleanups. And the EPA and the wasn't the DOD, who was it? The EPA and somebody else went out there and started cleaning and getting some of this stuff done immediately within like 30 days. And that's Trump's doing there. If we'd had Biden or some other liberal in there, never would have happened. And Gavin Newsom, he's not helping any, but all he's worried about is the perception of what he's going to look like in 4 years, so he can be a candidate to be a presidential candidate. But that's what we get with him. He's a new Slick Willie, isn't he? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still a good truck. I still like my little F-150. I mean, it's a 2018, but it's a great vehicle. I mean, it gets 32 miles to the gallon, even though it's got a little dent in the back bumper, hadn't it, Joey? Joey pointed that out to me when I met him last year. And I didn't realize until I got back exactly what it was. And what it was, when I hooked up my trailer, I don't know who was doing it, whether me or somebody else. I'm not going to throw blame on anybody else that works for me, because it could have been me and not realizing. Somebody jacked that trailer, and it's exactly where the bumper hits, because I was jacking it back one time, and I said, oh crap, that's probably how I put that dent, or somebody put that dent in my bumper. But anyway, it's bygones now. It's a truck. You're going to get dents in them, and just go with it. It doesn't look that bad, unless you got Joy around to point it out. 99% of the people won't notice it, but Joy noticed it immediately, and I didn't even notice it. So it's one of those things. But it doesn't bother me, except every time I look at it, I go, "There's Joy's dent," because that's what I call that. Because Joy pointed it out to me and Mike when we were up at the restaurant last year when I was in New York City. I mean, not New York State, not city. But yeah, that's one of those things. It may have been a couple of months before I went up there that happened. I don't know. I don't even know when it happened. And it wasn't so obvious that it bothered me. I mean, it's just a small dent, but now that Joy's pointed it out to me, I see it all the time now. So I still call that affectionately, I call that Joy's dent. So that's the way it is. Oh me. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't there when I bought it. It's something. It's something. I mean, you can actually see it when I hooked to my. I got like a 2-ton trailer or whatever. When I hooked to it and I jacking around, you can see that it lines up at the corner of my trailer, almost perfect where that's where it would jack it into it. So that I would say that's the guilty party, that I jacked it too tight one time and it hit the corner of my trailer. And so it is what it is. You live and you learn, you go on about your ways. You don't worry about it. I don't worry about it. I mean, it didn't, it's just a small dent and it doesn't affect the way it rides, drives, anything. So, you go with the flow, go with the flow. But that's the way it is. Well, I hope everybody's, hold on a second. Had to clear the old throat out here a little bit. Well, I hope everybody is adjusted to the time change and everything. And, we'll get adjusted to everything that we need to do coming the spring coming up. I'm enjoying the warmer weather, that's for sure. I can get up here in the trailer and not have to cut on all the. Actually, I got the heater on right here. I need to cut it off because it may be making some noise anyway. But I like the warmer weather and everything. It's a lot nicer, and spring's coming on, and I'm gonna be able to get out and work some, and Jim's finishing up some stuff in the shop that we'll be able to do some things. So it's all, yeah, I got to take care of these old pipes. Although I hadn't been on the radio this week at all, which is good. I was glad to kind of have a little bit of a little bit of a vacation from that. It's oh, that's right. In Arizona, they don't have a time change, do they? Yeah, so we caught up with you. No, let's see what. Now we're further back now, aren't we? Is that right, or did we catch up? No, so we sprang forward. So yeah, we're an hour further out. So if you're in Arizona, it's what is it? 3 hours out, three hours difference right now. It's just 6 o'clock in the morning out there, or what? 6 or 7. I can't remember the time change. You were Arizona's mountain time, or is it? Well, I guess if they don't do the time change, Arizona would be the same as California, then, wouldn't it? It'd be 3 hours difference from me. I believe I'm right, aren't I? Well, I don't know what they'll do on that time change. I don't know if they're going to keep daylight saving times or whatever. It's not really an issue. Of course, I lived most of my youth and everything without having daylight saving time. Yeah, yeah, I negotiated time off. Yeah, my agent being my wife, I guess you might say, Agent Barbara, she decided I didn't need to do any radio work this week, and I'm glad I hadn't got any lined up for this week either. Although SOS is coming about pretty soon, so I'll have I'll have a week or so there that I'll be slammed probably, where I'll do 8 or 10 shows in one week, and that kind of stuff. But we'll see. And we're down one of our other DJs had heart bypass surgery a week or so, a little over a week ago, and he's not doing real good, and he's struggling with it. So and they had to go back and put a pacemaker in. So he's out. Of course, we got one guy that's really we'll say he's anxious to do anything, and I've been letting him take the lead. I don't need. I'll fill in different shows, and some of them I really don't even want to do because some of them are not convenient to me, and I don't care to do the late night ones, the ones like 9 to 11. I mean, they're not hard to do, but I mean, I just I'm not real happy about those. The ones I prefer usually is one. I got a buddy Kyle that has a couple shows, and he's got one from 10 to 1 in the morning, and that's not bad. Or 9 to 12, 9 to 12, 10 to 1, stuff like that. That's not bad. But when it comes to doing the one I don't like is the 6 a.m. one. I don't like getting up be up here at 6 a.m. in the morning to do a radio show and doing from 6 to 9 or 6 to 10. I mean, that's not my cup of tea there. I'd rather do the midday. I don't mind doing the 10 to 1. I don't mind doing the 1 to 3 or 3 to 6. Those shifts aren't too bad. But some of these early morning ones, I do them occasionally, but they're not my preference. They're a little bit. I'm too retired to want to get up that early again. I can tell you that. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I'm retired, and I like staying retired. So yeah, yeah. Well, he's not a young buck, but he's anxious to do it and everything. I mean, I guess he's got less to do in his life than I do. I got a lot of other things going on, but I get out and enjoy myself. I went. My wife and I. Let me change my shirt here. My shirt's all wrinkled up. My wife and I got out. What night was it? Thursday night. We did. We went out and saw Casey and the Sunshine Band. That was a good time. I like the afternoon and even the morning midday type stuff too. He fired another DOJ. He needs to get rid of all of them, and that's what's killing them. He is draining the swamp. He is draining the swamp way better this time than he did last time. Last time he got bogged down just trying to protect himself. Yeah, this time he goes at it with reckless abandon. I mean, he doesn't care now. He's firing them right and left, and I'm glad. I mean, we got a lot of those bureaucrats up there that are making millions of dollars off of us, and for no reason at all. We don't need them. Yeah, the leftist judges. You're just gonna have to weed them out. You're just gonna have to weed them. It's gonna take time. Um, you know, that's what happens. I mean, Biden put too many in. I mean, they were putting in judges. If you look on the Senate hearings and everything, that they were appointing these judges. It seems like darn near 2 or 3 a week, and last year or last 3 or 4 years, and and he was just constantly putting those judges, and that's what Trump's going to have to do is constantly do it the other way during his 4 years, and if we can do that and get these courts realigned so we don't have so many liberal thinking judges. I mean, I can't believe that there's that many judges that are that ultra liberal, but evidently there are. I mean, it's already been shown that I mean some of the stupid decisions that have come down it tells right quick. Let me get the old pipes loosened up here. But it is what it is. I'm glad that I mean, Trump's working his butt off. I mean, he's got what is it, the Houthis? He's got them on the run out there in the Suez Canal and everything. And then trying to keep Iran at bay, try to slow them down. He's rolled back. I saw where he rolled back uh, the amount of barrels that they can produce, or is trying to anyway, from a million. They were up to about 1.5 million barrels a day. And I think he's got them down to he's getting them down to about 1 million or a couple 100,000 a day. Cut them about in half or less, I believe. Yeah, these district judges, it's just ridiculous that they're letting them wield enough power to override what a president's doing, and that makes no sense. I mean, presidential power ought to be way more powerful than a district judge. And what it is sort of like I don't know. Hold on, let me kind of resituate myself here a little bit. It's sort of it's like getting a bee sting. It's like a big animal getting a bee sting in a way. It's enough to aggravate you, but it's not enough to stop you. And that's what he's getting is like little bee stings all over him from all these different crazy ass judges all over the United States. And I think that's what he's doing, James. I think that's what he's doing is ignoring them and letting them go. Let them go on to. I saw where something got overturned by an appeals, the appellate judges, and that was just I think that was Friday that happened. I mean, there's going to be bits and pieces of that. Like I said, this is like a bee sting. I mean, he's getting stung all over by these little pesty bees, and then he's just having to swat them off and keep on going. They're enough to aggravate you, and you have to stop a little bit. But as long as he's large enough and can continue on, he'll do just fine. That's what I'm hoping that'll happen. But you never know. You never know. What's up with y'all guys? Has anybody got anything special going on? I know I'm glad the weather's changing. Jim and I are going to get out and we're going to start working on my fence. I got a fence and a gate that we're getting ready to put up here at our shop, and it's going to go right from my shop addition. When I added on to my shop last year, I guess I really ought to go around and show the progress I've made in the past year or two. I've done a lot of things here on the farm. I've added 2 storage, uh, one storage building that I'm actually under right now, where I've got my little trailer and everything up here. Then I've got different things like that. But we're going to add a security gate and a fence to go from one side of the property on the road over here to my shop. The Jim and I are going to be working on that over the next couple of months. So I'm going to be like Trump. I'm adding my border fence. I'm putting up my protection. I'm putting up my wall. I'm putting up the protection up here at the shop, so I can keep the riffraff out. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to keep my riffraff out. Riffraff out, not riffraff. But I'm trying to do that and just improve the property. I mean, when you got 75, 80 acres of property, you got a lot of property just to keep up. And that's what I've got. And I got to get out occasionally and do some work over at the old Ford place where the Napa store is and work over there. Well, that's good. You can't go wrong watching John Wayne, can you, Patrick? Yeah, John Wayne. John Wayne's a he's a good one. Let me tell you, Pilgrim. Yeah, he'll keep stuff straight. Yeah, I like I always did like John Wayne. John Wayne was a strong Republican. That's one thing. A lot of people didn't realize that he was a strong Republican, and all those Democrats out there because of that uh, one airport, the John Wayne Airport, they wanted to change the name and take him off of that. Yeah, we're not too much, not too bad high crime area, but you still got to. You'd be surprised what you get. We don't have the porch pirates and all kind of stuff like that down here as much as some areas do. And I hate to. I'd hate to be some. Yep, the big old Duke. Yeah. Speaking of Duke won in the ACC tournament last night. Won out on it. So Duke University will probably be a number one seed going into the 64 for the basketball. But I haven't watched a single basketball game. I just watch the stats. I look at the stats on that. I don't really care one way or the other. When it gets down to the Final Four, I may watch a little bit of that, but I'm not a big basketball fan anymore. Used to be years ago. We followed NC State, Carolina, and Duke, and all of them a good bit. But right now, it you change through time with your likes and your dislikes, and I'm old enough that I've seen all of that, and I'm not interested in it anymore. It doesn't have an appeal to me like it used to. Now my grandson's down at State. Of course, the NC State was so bad this year, and with the expansion of the conference, they didn't even make the tournament. So they didn't even get an invite to the tournament. So that's how bad they were. Yeah, yeah. I'd like to see a lot of these senators and congressmen and everything get defeated in the midterm. Not, I don't want to see the Democrats bounce back and give take it away from Trump. I want to see Congress and Senate stay the way it is, if not even stronger, because if it's not that way, these next the first 2 years might be okay, but the last two would be terrible if he doesn't have control of that, and that very well could happen in the midterms. So we're going to have to get smart and work hard in the midterms to be able to put enough Republicans in there. I think we've been lax in years past, but we have to see what they can do, see what they can get done, and then we can look forward to getting rid of Turtleneck in the Senate. Hopefully, they'll get somebody good in Kentucky to replace him. But right now, Turtleneck Hegan is going about his ways. He's old and decrepit and set in his ways. He's almost like an old Democrat now. So I'd like to see him move on. Well, I hope he does. I hope he jumps up there and was able to help these local ones and pick them off one by one and rallies behind them and gets them going. We'll see. We'll see. It just you never know about that stuff. You never know. Well, guys, I am about talked out again. I've got some. Barbara still has some things to do. I got to go down and watch my church. I watch church online. She and I like to sit there and do that. So I'm gonna go down and watch church with Barbara, and she likes to sing with the choir and all that. And she's got her hymnal right there. And so I like to do that. And we have our own private church service down there. So we're going to go do that. And y'all take care. I'm gonna get on out of here, and I'll see y'all next Sunday.